All right, we're back with Jared Richards again. Jared, when it comes to a case and you get your client and you need to know all the facts, right? And I know with my experience in the bail bond world, I talk to a lot of criminal defense attorneys, and there's that moment where they get the client, they say, look, I need to know everything that happened, stuff you're not going to tell anyone but me and, the two of us in this room, the good, the bad, the ugly. How does that work in a personal injury or an accident case where, where you get these things where if a lie comes out later and they're not telling you the truth, how do you approach that with a client?
Okay, so I often tell my clients that there is nothing that is going to hurt your case so much as being caught in a lie. There is so much on the civil side where we have to believe in and rely on the injured victim. Like, for example, how bad does it hurt?
Yeah, right?
I mean, as simple as how bad does it hurt? How is it affecting your life? The jury is relying on that testimony. And if that person if you find out that person is a liar, gets caught in a lie, then their credibility is shot. Nothing will kill a case so quickly as being caught in any substantial lie. So, I tell my clients, you've got to tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
Don't worry about something that's going to kill your case. If it's going to kill your case, tell me so I can tell you.
If we go forward.
Right. I can't advise you unless I know all the facts.
Because at the end of the day, they're wasting your time, the court's time, everyone's time, even their own time.
A lot of times people are afraid of a particular fact that may not actually be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is a big deal, but in the broader context of what happened, it doesn't necessarily completely change the liability landscape. And so, I can damage control bad facts. We can present bad facts in an honest light that gives, true perspective to what's really going on. But if you don't tell me that I'm blindsided at trial or blindsided after you've made statements under oath, boy, nothing kills a case so fast as a lie.
Has that happened?
Of course.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, what
you can't have represented as many clients as, I've been doing this a long time. And, for whatever reason, clients think they're protecting themselves. And when the lie comes out, it's a big problem. I would think of one in particular where, he told me what had happened. He told me that this wreck it hit him so hard that it just knocked him literally out of the seat. He was underneath the steering wheel. It had hit him that hard.
We weren't there,
I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'll believe you until I have a reason not to believe you.
We've seen stranger,
Right. And then I saw the dash cam. And the dash cam made it pretty clear that, one, he did not get knocked out of his seat. And two, it's pretty clear he did not know that the wreck had even happened until 5 seconds later, and his passenger had said, "Hey, did we just get hit?"
Oh, yeah.
Come on. And so nothing gets me out of a case faster than something like that. But
so his shoes weren't sticking out of the sunroof when you with the dash
right.
cam.
And, on that type of case, the real advice is either don't make the claim or just probably don't make the claim.
Don't make the claim.
Don't make the claim.
You get stuff we hear stories all the time, people say they're hurt, and then pictures will show up of them squatting in the gym or moving furniture. Okay, does that really happen?
Right, but I have mixed feelings about that.
Okay.
Because people get hurt, and this is again where I say be honest.
Yeah.
People get hurt, and even if you're hurt, you can still do some stuff. Somebody with a bad back can move a couch.
Yeah.
They can do it. Most, not all of them, but most of them can. It's just there's a price to pay.
Yeah.
I have a client who we had a bunch of pictures on her Facebook page of her climbing a pretty onerous mountain. And, she's smiling atop and cheering with her daughter. And then she goes into back surgery a month later. And, the defense wanted to say that means she's not hurt. Well, there's more to that story. Yeah, she could make it up a mountain, but it took her twice as long as everybody else, and she couldn't walk the next day.
Well, especially when it comes down to earning a living, right? I know some people that are just stubborn people.
Right. You got to still go out and do stuff.
Like I had a friend who had a broken foot, and he was a car mechanic, and he went to work because he had no choice. He could not work, and then it came out like, when he had an injury case, this was like 20, like, well, we have pictures of you. You've been working on a ar, and, we see you under the lift and on your back. And he's like, I have no choice. Like, I have to tough through this.
This goes into the honesty thing. Like, if you are hurt and you have an injured back, and you are asked under oath, can you play soccer? Well, you've got to be very clear, because people are going to be scrutinizing what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you say, no, I can't play soccer, and there's a video of you playing soccer, well, you look like a liar.
Yeah.
Now, if what you meant is, I can't play soccer like I used to play soccer,
gotcha,
or I can play soccer on a good day, but if I do it wrong, the next day I'm not walking.
And that's another thing with injuries. There's good days and bad days. Right. When you have back pain or neck pain, anyone that's lived with, back injury, I have a back injury, and I have days where, I'm like, I got to go to work. I can't, and I tough through it. And then there's days where I'm fine for 2 or 3 weeks. It's an older injury, but still it does come and go, 100%.
And so that's where we get back into be honest and be precise. Like, listen to what they're asking, because you can say, honestly, I can't play soccer.
Yeah.
But it's honest, but it's not precise. And it's going to be interpreted as dishonest.
Gotcha.
Because, in fact, not only can you play soccer, you have played soccer. And so, it goes back down to like when I was, my wife is a runner. Like, she runs marathons. I am not a runner. And she has a bad knee right now, or it's getting better, but she has a bad knee. Mm-hmm. And one day we went jogging and we ran, I don't know, maybe like a half mile. And at the end of the half mile, I looked at her and said, I thought you said you couldn't run. And she said, well, Jared, that wasn't running.
Yeah, anyone can run with you, Jared.
Anyone can run with you, Jared. Right, but and it goes back down to, what do people mean when they say what they say? And once you're under oath, precision in language becomes a real problem for some people.
Yeah, and there's a quality of life factor. Like you said, yes, I could play soccer, but not like I used to.
Right.
I'm playing 5 minutes a night versus 30 minutes a night. And that 5 minutes is going to cost me a day in bed tomorrow, or something else that's going to affect my quality of life and my mental.
A really good attorney once told me that, there's a distinction between, wheelchair pain and sort of everyday up and down pain. And, you tell the jury, we're not telling you that he has wheelchair pain.
Yeah.
If he had wheelchair pain, he'd be in here in a wheelchair. But let's talk about what his pain actually truly is. But yeah, I mean, the honesty factor, the precision factor becomes a real issue.
Yeah.
And a real vulnerability for people who are trying to be honest, but are not precise in their words. But then it appropriately catches those people that are not being honest, that are just, dishonest people. They should be caught.
Is there a penalty for that?
No. Not really. So the default rule in civil litigation is everybody pays their own way.
Yeah.
You pay for your own costs, you pay for your own fees. There are some things.
So the penalties, they burned you. You burned your attorney.
Well, that is, and that doesn't necessarily come back to bite them, but yes, there are times where I've been burnt because I'm paying for my client to be there. And so that becomes a real problem sometimes. And there are things where if it's bad enough that the court can order that you pay the other side's attorney's fees or the other side's costs, that's uncommon. But if it's bad enough, it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing bad enough would be like a dollar amount.
No, it's like if the abuse on the legal system is egregious enough.
Gotcha.
And maybe lying under oath might get you there. And maybe it should get you there, but in my experience, it often doesn't get you there. Most of the time, it's...
Mind you, we're talking about not criminal here. So
yeah, we're not talking
criminal. I'm saying, like, for the viewer.
Well, yeah, I mean, lying under oath, I mean, technically it's a crime. Technically it's perjury. It's arrestable. But the courts just tend not to enforce it that way, at least generally not. But if you are abusing the discovery system, if you are sending out... basically, if you're lying to the other attorney about things that are available, not available, that might get sanctioned. If you are simply saying, I have a hurt back, and you don't have a hurt back,
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen a judge actually sanction somebody.
Yeah, because I know like with pain, it's kind of like you said, it's like on your honor. Like we don't have a tool to like put on and see what your pain level is.
Right.
We have to go by what you're saying and believe it.
Right.
So
yeah.
All right, well, it comes down to honesty. Just, when you get with your lawyer, tell the truth.
Be honest.
Don't, because all you're going to do is hurt yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you were ever with an attorney that tells you to be dishonest,
Run.
get out.
Yeah, run for sure.
Get out.
Because that's a part 2 to this one later.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jared.
Absolutely.